What's up, y'all? This is the Curious One, and we're kicking it here at the Ugly Table. Tonight, we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Crimson Guards. And with my army builders, I usually pick up four, so that's what I do with these guys as well. So on this side, we got a number 50, and then we have the file card. And each one of these is going to be a different attribute. If I remember, I'll throw the official G.I. Joe website in the description below. And if you'd like, you can look up the meaning of each of those icons. So here he is out of the box with all of his accessories, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accessories. So let's take a closer look at him. Helmet with the visor painted silver, got some silver details, silver cobra symbol, some medals, gray shoulder pads, gray rope. The buttons are painted silver, some silver here and there. Really like the way this figure came out, and it does definitely remind me of the original. How close it is to the original, I cannot remember, but I don't expect it to be 100% spot on. This is like a modern rendition. So let's check out the accessories. Comes with this backpack, the silver cobra logo, a peg hole there, a peg here, and a peg to plug it into his back. Got some nice details on the straps here on the inside. That looks like a rectangle peg hole there at the bottom. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Not exactly sure what that's for. We'll see if we can figure it out. Then you get his sword and scabbard. They did go ahead and put some silver on this, which I appreciate. The handle has a snake head. See that? It does look like I got some chipping on this one, but that's fine. Here's the scabbard. Not extremely fancy, but it works. See if it fits. It fits in there nice and snug. So then we have a knife, which also has a cobra head here, and that looks like it would be its tail. Also gets some silver. And we have a pistol. And it does look fairly realistic. I'm not sure if it's an actual realistic gun. I do like guns, but there's so many pistols out there. I don't have all of them memorized. It does look very realistic. You do get a peg hole there, so you can use your gun blast on it. Then, oh, I'm sorry, there's actually 7 accessories, because here's his, I'm going to say this is an M16, although it could be an M4. I'm not exactly sure on the barrel length of this, but it comes with a bayonet, and it does have silver paint. Also dig that this is a very realistic looking firearm. I was not excited about the big laser guns that came with the original ones. So now the final accessory is going to be a magazine for your M16. Not the most realistic, but it is the right shape and should suffice. Oh yeah, peg hole for a gun blast. This will plug in right there. Bam. Now I really dig that. I wish we would have gotten an extra magazine, but you know, it is what it is. Normally I have to buy from Marauders or Action Force if I want that feature, but they have stepped up and begun giving us this, which I really dig. Actually, Wave 1 Roadblock had a removable magazine, but he also had a huge, like, I don't know what you want to call it, laser gun or something. Now, I typically don't go over the articulation like all that close, just because there's other channels that do it and they do it a lot better than I do. What I do typically do is point out points in the articulation that I do not like. Now, this is G.I. Joe Classified. You're going to get the same articulation out of almost all of them. The only difference is whether or not they have a vest or if they are sculpted like this guy. So, point one that I did not like in this articulation is the hands. In order for me to get any movement out of these hands, and it's still even limited, but I had to pop the hands and cut the channel out because the channel was filled and there was so much flash in there that it just would not get any movement whatsoever. Now that I've done that, I get a little bit, but of course if you turn the hand that way, you're not, it's going to be inhibited by the sleeve. It just seems like, I don't know, like maybe the peg hole is a little bit too deep, and then of course with the channel being filled full of flash, I seriously could not get those wrists to bend at all. But now that I've done that, you do get some movement. Another thing is, because of the shape of the helmet, you're not going to get a ton of up, and then because of the collar, you're not getting, it's not too bad, but it's not a ton. Now, if you got a nice steady hand, you could probably go in here, shave this up a little bit, and get a little more up. I do not have steady hands, so I probably won't do that. So you also get a holster here on his belt. He has a scabbard for his knife. If you look on this side of the belt, there's a peg hole there for his sword. Of course, a peg hole in the back for the backpack. Another thing that I generally don't like about most Hasbro figures is they get a decent amount of down, but typically no up. I want to say that's actually pretty good for a Hasbro product. The reason that I don't like that is it makes it difficult to get certain types of poses, to get his feet sitting properly when you're posing them. But it is what it is. Now, as I said, you can take the sword, plug it into his belt. I'm putting it backwards like an idiot. There we go. Seems pretty good. Let's check the pistol. Now, this guy, I believe he is completely new. I don't see anything that I recognize from other figures. Maybe Cobra Commander, but I don't believe so. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, his pistol fits all the way in like it's supposed to. It doesn't fall out, at least not easily. Knife fits in, feels pretty secure. Oh, and I did give him the shake test already, but off camera. I always do the shake test because some of these figures I get and they're really, really weak right here, and or the legs are very, very shaky. But he came, as far as that goes, he came in pretty good. Now, backpack fits, doesn't seem to fall off. Now, if you want, you can plug in your rifle here. And if you'd like, you can plug your sword in here. Like so. So that's pretty cool. It's always nice to have options. Alright, so I do have to say I did not find anything that should plug into this rectangle peg hole back here. Not really sure what's going on with that. But yeah, I do really dig this figure. I don't believe I had a Crimson Guard as a kid. I believe my cousin had it. And typically we weren't allowed to own the same figures, because they were scared we would fight over them or something. But we usually we actually weren't supposed to trade either, but we did occasionally and never really had an argument about it or anything. So insignia there. Yeah, I really dig this figure. Now that gun blast is from a Action Force. As you can see, it's a little big and doesn't fit in there quite well with the because of the bayonet. But you could probably throw one of the smaller, like the pistol gun blast in there, and it should work just fine. Dig the way the figure looks. Couple complaints, but overall, I'm very happy with this purchase. I don't have any buyer's remorse, and I guess that's all I got to say about him. So y'all have a good night. Y'all try to stay out of trouble. Y'all take it easy, alright? Peace.